It's time now for Media Watch, and James Creedon has joined us in the studio. It's good to
Hi,
see you,
Laura.
James. And you're going to take us back to the United Nations.
Yes.
Donald Trump making his first appearance.
Yes.
What is everybody making of his comments then that the UN needs to kind of cut the fat and be more efficient?
Lots of reactions to that, and also to the fact that, well, Donald Trump, who wanted to be isolationist, who wanted to be unilateralist, well, actually he kind of needs the UN, really, for a lot of issues around the world, in particular the first major foreign policy crisis that he has, which is North Korea. This is a piece in Politico by Richard Gowan. I'll just read a couple of extracts from that. Trump has publicly questioned whether the sanctions will work, and rightly so. Even advocates of the UN approach admit that the measures are unlikely to change Pyongyang's calculations on their own. And in other words, they go on to say that he knows now that he has to keep China and Russia engaged on the crisis, working through the Security Council, so that basically his isolationist noises all along will
America first and so forth.
That's right. Well, he knows that he will actually need this multilateral body. You can see here the European Council on Foreign Relations also sharing that article by Politico, and their take on it is the US administration will try to rebrand Trump as a constructive friend of the UN system. Now, of course, we've seen that his provocative language vis-a-vis Pyongyang has continued. He mocked so-called rocket man Kim Jong-un, and his as advisors were issuing warnings saying, look, perhaps this kind of antagonistic approach could backfire, perhaps even literally. But elsewhere, a lot of people giving the thumbs up, or various media such as Fox News giving the thumbs up to this approach. This is a headline on the Fox News website. Listen up, UN. Trump means what he's telling you. And they're basically very happy with the tone. You can see on Twitter as well. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yep. Trump slams the UN in his first UN speech. So a lot of people really happy. And as ever
they
with Donald Trump.
They appreciate the straight talking.
As ever with Donald Trump. Totally polarised on social media. You have people who appreciate it. You have people who profoundly dislike it.
The Marmite of politics, isn't
he? Profoundly dislike it. You even have this person here saying, well done for reading your teleprompter. And of course, that has become now a new sport. Does Donald Trump, when he delivers a speech, does he actually stick to the script?
Or does he go?
Or does he go AWOL?
Off script altogether. All right, well, it's his first appearance at the UN, isn't it? And it's also going to be the first time for Emmanuel Macron, the French president.
That's right.
Due to arrive any moment.
All eyes on him as well. This is an article in L'Opinion. And what they're saying here is how Emmanuel Macron wants to weigh in on world affairs this week. And essentially, he'll be, as ever with France, promoting multilateral institutions. He'll be obviously trying to work with Donald Trump as well. So this is an article that kind of looks across various ways in which he's going to try to weigh in on events at the UN this week. Of course, an element of surprise as well. A lot of that being kept under wraps. A 3-day marathon to, I suppose, weigh in on the world scene. And Amnesty as well, warning Emmanuel Macron, or putting a lot of pressure on him through the media to stick to his promises when it comes to, for example, the sale of arms and other such promises made, that he would clamp down on that during his campaign. So there you go. Now, meanwhile, he'll have to deal with his telephone number having leaked on to the media. That's the other kind of Macron-related story that's making the rounds of social media today. Apparently, a journalist's mobile phone got stolen. And he had the 06, as they say in France, the mobile number of the president, and it, 3 seconds later, it was up on the internet, and then it was
one
everywhere.
Or two texts, did he?
Right. So he had to, in the midst, probably got a few, unexpected messages before having to shut it all down.
Okay. Finally, if it doesn't go so well for Trump and Macron, they could always go off and grow a beard.
Right.
Why is this something that politicians do?
It seems to be kind of what their PR people tell them to do. This
Manuel Valls.
Manuel Valls, former Prime Minister. He is still an MP.
Goatee.
He is still an MP, but very much weakened since the last elections. And there he is, appearing with this goatee, which is getting quite a lot of comment on social media. It started to appear a couple of weeks ago and was already getting headlines. And you see, this is hot on the heels of François Fillon. Well, actually,
I thought you were going to show me Nicolas Sarkozy with a beard. I don't believe it.
We'll get to him too. But
oh, wow.
Actually, there was. It was
not even getting cold yet.
No, but hold on. Let me see if I can get this.
Oh, I need to see
this video has to be brought back to the start. But François Fillon also did the same.
Is that more of a disguise kind of beard?
I don't know what's going on, but I think it's the kind of semi-retired look, isn't it? And Sarkozy, as you said, did that as well.
That's just stubble,
isn't
it?
Well, I think it got a little slightly longer. This isn't probably maximal beard photo, but there is a history of this for prominent French figures in politics.
Interesting.
And then they shave it when they're getting serious again.
Interesting observation you've made there, James.
Well,
Any more? François Hollande.
Francois Hollande.
Any facial hair there?
Actually, no.
No, not yet.
So this is a chink in the theory. This is a weak link in the theory.
Am I going to draw attention to the changes in your facial hair over the years?
Well, maybe it means I'm getting more relaxed. Less professional? I don't know.
Suits you, James.
Thank you, my dear.
All right. Thank you very much indeed, James Creedon, there
Laura.
with Media Watch.